Hi there, everybody, and thanks for logging in. Basically, me and Karen are going to go through the first part of the first steps to manager and the marketing plan, so everybody knows exactly how they're going to get their promotions. And then, if you've got any questions, I hope you can see on the webinar in the corner, you can see a icon which says questions, and you can type some in, and me and Karen will answer them to the best of our ability. If we can't answer them, we'll find out for you and put it on Global Diamond. Okay? So let's have a look at first steps to manager. Hopefully, you've all been through the first steps to manager with your sponsor. If you haven't, please listen carefully, because if you sponsor somebody, then you must know what to do and how to use this booklet. Okay? Now, basically, it's a booklet designed by John Curtis and Jane Leach from the QLS team, and it's their guide for the first 30 days. It allows you to get your new distributor set up for 30 days and get their business set up correctly. And it's your responsibility as a sponsor to go through this with them, not just to give them it, to go through themselves. Now, I would suggest that you always have 2 copies, just in case your new business owner or new distributor hasn't got an actual booklet, although it should come in your business in a box. In the UK, I know if you haven't got it, you can order 5 for £4, and I suppose you can buy them in the office in Dubai. Now, it's what it does is it's simple to use, and it creates great habits. Habits of planning for 7 days, a tracker sheet of who you've been speaking to, and it's something that you can use throughout your forever business. So if you start using it from the first week and you continue to use it throughout, that's a great habit to get into. It's a great way to show new people how to achieve manager and to achieve their dreams and their goals and relate it to the marketing plan. Now, everyone should be using it, as I said. It's what it does is it's duplicatable. And what I mean by that is that it's simple to use, so you can show your downline how to use it. And it's easy for everyone then in your whole team to be using it, not just you. You can duplicate it throughout your team, because if it's not followed, then important things in the business might be missed out, and you might have a bad start to your business. And what happens when you have a bad start to your business is that potentially good team members could drop out at the beginning. Okay, so the next slide is really what I've just said. When you get a new distributor, prepare them, tell them that you're going to be talking about their goals, their dreams, ask them to fill in their who do you know list, have a rough copy, maybe give them the book to have a look at so that they're ready with their answers when you go through it with them. And it says here, send the relative QLS training pods. Now, if you join QLS, there's a charge monthly, and they have great training pods, and it sends your new distributor little 5-minute videos of Jane Leach and John and all different people in their team. And once they've been watched, you will get a notification to send the next lot of pods, the next lot of training. Really good. I suggest you have a look at QLS webpage, please. Okay, next one. So basically, I want to talk quickly about your role, because even though it's really simple, even though you've probably seen it thousands of times, this book, do not lose your excitement. Because remember, when you joined, you were really excited, and you've got to create that excitement for your new member. As I say, don't tell them to read it through themselves. It's your job, your role, to go through it with them. I would also suggest you have an A4 pad so you can write down any questions, and every time you have any planning meeting with any of your distributors, new or old, you write down exactly what you've been talking about, and this one is no different. Going through this book gives you a chance to connect with your new distributor, and it's really, really important that you do connect with them and that you do understand them and that you explore their why. And again, from my teaching background, I know how important high expectations are. I wouldn't go to a new distributor going, oh, see what happens. You say, well, I'm expecting you to get this. What do you expect? And set that goal high, because they may meet those expectations. Show them also that you have used, bring your own first steps to manager, show them that you're using it, and agree a 7-day plan. What I always do is I always congratulate people that they joined, make sure that they know that they've made the right decision, because they will have questions in their minds. Have I done the right thing? You need to tell them that they have made the right decision, but also tell them that it's their responsibility to take care of their own business, that you can help them, but make them accountable for their business by going through this first steps to manager with them. So they're not going to blame you. And you want to make them as independent as quickly as possible and tell them that. Another thing that's important is that you believe in them, because if you as a sponsor don't believe in them, then they're not going to believe in themselves. And that's really, really important, especially at the beginning, for their mindset. And also setting the pace, setting a fast pace is really important. I feel that the quicker you get somebody to supervisor, the more likely they are to stay in the business. There's almost like, in my mind, an imaginary line. And if you get over that line, then you're less likely to stop. So the supervisor is a key point in my mind in this business. Also, I think the emotional roller coaster, those who've been in the business a while have experienced this. You get some really big highs and then you get some really rough lows. And you've got to prepare your new distributor for this because they need to understand that everyone goes through this and everyone picks themselves back up. And they use their team members, they use their upline to support each other. So you have to tell them to use the chat, to use Global Diamond to help them and not take things personally. Also, as it says there, lead from the front. They'll do it if they see you're doing it. So let's have a look at the first page of First Steps to Manager. And this is one of the most important 2 pages you will ever do with your new distributor, because this is giving the reason to go that bit further, the reason they started the business and the reason to pick themselves up when things go wrong. Basically, you're actually getting to know them. Some people spend 30 minutes. Some people spend an hour on this page because it's actually that important, just talking about the plans for the future. Talking about plans for the future, most people have never planned for their future. It's unbelievable. They might know what holiday they're going on next, but they don't know what they want to be doing in their life in 5 years' time. And it's really important that you stress that you probably didn't do it either when you joined and that you found it hard. But what I was told by when I went to a training with Gemma Easton was not to worry about getting it in those 3 boxes. That is not the important part. The important part is listening for little nuggets of information. Now, the dreams and these things are going to change throughout your business. If you've got down a new car for one of your goals, in 2 months' time, it might not be the same. It will constantly change. So listening for these nuggets of information and reminding them of what they said might really help them in the future to set new goals. So you're looking to see how these people are programmed. And what you're asking them also is not just what they want, but when they need it by. So you're looking at short term. I hear different things about short term. Some people say 3 months to a year. Long term, some people say 2 to 5 years. But what you're finding out is why these things are important to them, when they need it by, and what if they didn't get it? Because once they've got a goal in their mind, if they didn't get it, sometimes it's really hard to imagine not getting it when you've set that goal. So you want that goal firmly planted in their mind and not even think about not getting it. The last thing I would say, apart from a date, which is really, really, really important, is looking for a price tag for your short-term and your long-term goals, because that price tag, and you'll see in a minute, is what I will use later in the marketing plan. So date them and get a price tag. What if, why is it important, and what if you don't get it? Now, if people can't answer these questions, just ask them questions like, do you ever have a moment when you talk to somebody about what you would do if you win the lottery? Make it lighthearted. Or if time and money were no object, what would you do? So I've talked about the importance of this. of this page. And I really want you to understand the importance of it too, because it does come into play when we have that emotional roller coaster and we have those bad days. And Natalie Healy, I always remember when she was talking about you in a, she had a plank of wood and people walked across it. And she said to this person in the training, would you walk across this plank of wood if I gave you £20? Like, oh God, yeah, no problem. Of course I would. And then she said, okay, let's look at a different scenario. Put this plank of wood between two buildings, hundreds of feet in the air. Would you do the same for £20? And the answer was, of course, oh my goodness, no. And then she said, okay, the next scenario is you've got your family in a burning tower on one side and you're on the other side. Would you go across that plank of wood and get them? And of course, the answer is always, oh my God, yes. And so what they're doing is they are letting their fears, because in the bad days we have fears, we overtake what we want to do. We overtake our fears. Our fears become less important. So with these goals, I want your fears to be less important and your goals to be more important. Okay, so now I don't want to go over this page much. I did it last week actually about a case credit, but since last week, funnily enough, there's been a new announcement. And if you're not aware of it, listen very carefully. When you sign up a new team member, you used to get 2 case credits if they bought a business in a box, or if they bought 2 case credits worth of a stock of products, then you would get 2 case credits. Well, in the UK, not in Dubai. Dubai is still the same, but in the UK it's changed because our box is £200 and the majority of the world, the average price of a box is £360 and ours is only £200. The Direct Selling Association will not allow the UK to charge more than £200 to join a Direct Selling Association. So what they've said is we can't charge more than £200, but we will give you less case credits. So when you get a new person in your team, you will get just over 1 case credit. But the important thing to remember is that the new member, even though they haven't got 2 case credits, they will go directly to assistant supervisor. They will not stay at new distributor. So basically this page on the first steps to manager may have to change if it talks about 2cc. I can't see it at the minute. If it talks about 2cc for each new member. As I say in Dubai, I think it's staying the same. You're very lucky. Okay, so here we go. This is what we want. We want to talk about how you are going to move up the marketing plan. So with my new distributor, what I will do is I will go to these short-term plans. The short-term plans, because they put an amount of money on it. And what I'll do is I'll ask them to circle what the 3 most important things, and we'll look at the figures. And it might look that they need to spend £600 a month. They might want £600 a month to spend. So what I will do is I'll look at the short-term, £600, we got that figure, turn to this page and say, okay, if you want £600, point to the marketing plan where they can get £600. You are linking what they want to the marketing plan. It's so, so, so important. So you'll say for £600, you have to be assistant manager or above, so they know exactly where they have to get to. And then again, I would say to them, what do you know about, or what do you understand about this? Now, they might have been to a business presentation, they might have been talked to about the figures, it's gone in and out, they haven't got a clue. They might tell you what they understand, but they would tell me and then I'd go over it again. So let's look at the first new distributor. I'm going to go over with you how I would go over it with a new distributor. So what you have when you start is you have 15%. That's the profit that you get when you buy any products. But you need 2cc or over. Just 1 minute. Chris? Yeah. Sorry. So just my husband in the background snoring. Oh, he's on the set. Oh my goodness me! I've sent him to sleep. Stop it. Okay, we'll start that again. So you need 2 case credits to get to assistant supervisor, and you've got 2 months to get there. So if you buy, for example, you don't buy the business in a box. If you buy a propolis cream and after 2 months you don't buy anything else, then you have to start again from 0. So it's got to be over 2 months. If over 2 months you get 2cc or you buy a business in a box, then you go straight to assistant supervisor. Okay, now today, when you're assistant supervisor, you can only earn, if you have not sponsored anybody, from yourself. So you will get 30% profit. You will get 30% profit off everything that you buy. Everybody and the whole marketing plan get 30% profit. It never changes. You can see each 30% that it never changes. The one thing that does change, you'll see those 5, 8, 13 and 18. Those are the things that do change as you go up the marketing plan, and that is your bonus. Now, that's the percent of the retail sales. For example, assistant supervisor, you'll get 5% as well as your 30% profit, 5% bonus. So for every £100 you spend, you'll get £5 back. Now, at the point of sale, that is where you get that. So you'll get your 30% and your 5% at the point of sale. All the way to manager, where you get 18%. And again, if you spend £100, you get £18 back. So altogether, if you're a manager, you'll be getting 48% of the products. The products will almost be half the price. So now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move up the first stage, getting from assistant supervisor to supervisor. As I say, it's really, really important. And what you need is you need 25 case credits over 2 consecutive months. So you could do it by yourself. You don't need any team members to do this. You could do it by yourself by retailing, and that is really difficult. And I'm going to tell you 4 reasons why you could do it, but I wouldn't advise it. The first one is because probably a lot of those sales are clean 9s. And not everyone buys a clean 9 every month. They might buy the most expensive clean 9, like one of the most expensive products is a clean 9, but then the next month they won't buy it again. They might buy small parts of the clean 9, they might buy nothing. So you can't sustain your clean 9 sales every month. And also, it's hard to look after that many customers yourself. And to be honest, I don't think I'd want to. I wouldn't give them proper customer service. I'd lose track of who's bought things, of who I'm supposed to be supporting. So I would prefer to have team members looking after all those customers and doing the work with me and for me. Another reason I would want to do it is because it's hard to duplicate. Can you imagine if you sold 25 case credits and then you're saying to somebody who wants to join the business, come and join the business? And they'll say, but look how many customers you've got. I can't do that. It makes it look as if it's not duplicatable. And the last thing is that for the next jump, you'll need 75 cc's. And you cannot do that by yourself. You do need team members. So it's best to start building your team members early. Okay, so let's go back to supervisor. Now, the person on this screen, they've got to supervisor by having 3 people in their team. She's getting new income from them, so you can see the percentage there. Now, those 3 people she sponsored are still assistant supervisors. They're on 5%, and the supervisor is on 8%. So what she's getting is a difference between 5% and 8%. So she's getting 3% income stream from each of those. What would happen if the people she sponsored in 1 week got to supervisor? When they were supervisor, she'd earn nothing from them because you can't earn from somebody in the same level of the marketing plan. Okay, so she's got an income stream, she's got her 30% and her 8%, or his 30% and 8%. So that's how she's getting paid. So all 4 in your team, including yourself, are doing 4 cc's, the minimum. So that's 16 cc's in 1 month. So do the same the next month and you have 32. That's well past the 25 cc's. So as you can see, everyone doing the minimum gets that supervisor position. So the next promotion is assistant manager. As we said, it's 30% and you've gone up to 12%. So that's 42% off your products. Now, to get there, you have to have 75 CCs over 2 months, and you can use the last month's promotion number. So if you got 12 last month in your promotion, then you can use that 12 this month. This person, this team, you haven't sponsored anybody else, but if you look, the people underneath you have sponsored 3 people each. So altogether, there's 10 people there doing 4 CCs. So over 2 months, that's 80 CCs. And lastly, getting to manager, you need 120 CCs. And again, you'll get 48% off your products, and you'll be earning an income stream from everybody in your team. And to work out how much you get from assistant supervisors in your team, it's 18 take away 5. So you work it out pretty easily what the income stream you get from each person. Now, this person has got 10 people in their team, and 10 people doing 4 CCs is 40 CCs, and over 2 months, I've lost my train of thought. So sorry, we're looking at the manager. So you got 15 people here doing 4 CCs. So 15 people, you're going to get 60 a month. That's 120 over 2 months. So you can see this person here has only sponsored 3 people. It's the people below them who have sponsored other people, and everyone doing those 4 CCs gets them to the next position. Okay, now let's have a look at the next page. This is the last page I'm going to do, and if you look at the senior manager page, I think this is one of the most important things when you get to senior manager. It's important because when you've got a senior manager, it's more of a stable business you've got. You've got 2 legs. You've got 2 legs giving you an income stream. Now, when I said you earn from the people below you, when you look at the difference in the marketing plan, now the problem that Karen and I thought of was we said to our upline, but when we become manager and we have other people who we bring to manager, we're on the same marketing plan level. We're not going to earn anything for them. But for what Forever have done is they've said, when you've got a manager, instead of earning 5% between assistant manager and manager from them, you will earn 6% of their whole business. So what you've got to do is you've got to get as many people in your team to manager, and you'll earn 6% of their businesses without really helping them that much. You've put all the hard work in, and that's what's like the royalty style income. You're actually not in the room, but you're earning 6% of their whole business. So senior manager gives you that stability, that you've got 2 managers, 1 leg, or 2 legs giving you 6% each. Now, what else was I going to say? Why become manager? Now, the reason to become manager is because as soon as you become manager, that's when the incentives kick in. So that's when you can go for the checks, that's when you can go for the holidays, that's when you can go for the car plan. And what we'll do is maybe next week we'll look at the incentives and tell you exactly what you need once you get to manager. For all these incentives. And the first incentive you should be looking at is the Eagle Manager. A lot of people, when they get to manager, they have such a big push to get to this manager, then they stop and they lose their momentum and they don't get to the first incentive. So it's important when you go through the first steps to manager with your new distributor, is not only do you look at what they want to get to in the short term, using the goals on the marketing plan, but you need to stretch it and look at what they need to get Eagle Manager. So we'll go over that next week. Okay, so I think I've talked enough there. I don't know if anybody's got any questions, if they know how to write questions on the control panel. Karen, are you there? Hello?
Hi, yes.
Hey.
Yeah.
Good. So I've gone through the whole marketing plan. Is there anything that you think I've missed or I've said?
No, it was really good, Elaine. Really good for me to go through it again as well. Although I know it, it's really good to just go over it again. And there's a few bits that you mentioned that I I miss out when I'm going through it. So it was really good revision for me as well. So thank you very much.
Excellent. So maybe we'll do the incentives next week, do you think? Be a good idea?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, good idea.
Okay, well, there's
Yeah.
not any questions at the moment, but if you have any questions, I'd like you to write them underneath this recording, if that's okay. And I shall say goodbye and thank you for listening. Bye.